But now Bush is on to greener pastures. There's a story about his new neighborhood. He's bought a house in a wealthy part of Dallas called Preston Hollow. It is where Ross Perot lives. It's where Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, live. It's also a place, as Ross Story has found out, that had a covenant until the year 2000, in this century, in this millennium, in this decade, that said this area is for whites only. So if you're a black person and you'd like to buy a house in Preston Hollow, sad day for you. Can't do it. Won't do it. But they were magnanimous. It says in their 1956 covenant that if you were black and you were a domestic servant, or any person of color, and a domestic servant, a maid, a butler, whatever it might be, but a servant, then you were allowed in the houses of Preston Hollow. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. That's a load off my mind. Now, look, let's be fair. That covenant was passed in 1956. Were they still enforcing it in 1999? I hope to God they weren't, right? But it's a testament to no one really giving a damn that they didn't even bother taking it off the books till 2000. And 1956 was not that long ago. That was only a little over 50 years ago. I mean, see, when you talk, Reverend Wright's back in the news, but when you talk about Reverend Wright, you talk about people who grew up in that era, do you understand the justifiable anger there? And I think, unfortunately, a lot of white folks don't. There were areas in Dallas in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and God knows how long they enforced that covenant that they finally took off the books in 2000, that said the only way you enter this area is if you're a servant. Now, we've come a long way now, okay? Now we got a little residential area on, what is it, Pennsylvania Avenue? I think it's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, occupied by a black man, okay? So this country's come a long way. But don't forget where we've been and how we had to get there, okay? What happened, Bush? I thought you loved Crawford and wanted to go back to that ranch. Oh, that ranch was a prop. Oh, I see. You remember he bought that ranch down in Crawford right before he started running for president. Because he's a cowboy, likes to go out there and clean the shrubbery or bushes or bush or brush or whatever he clears, right? What a liar. What kind of brush are you going to clear in Preston Hollow? Is there any brush there? Are you going to put on your cowboy hat and walk around in your lawn and mow the lawn and be like, you never wanted to go back to Crawford. Crawford was a set, man. It was like a Hollywood set. It was a prop. And anyone who bought into it, I don't want to call you an idiot because, look, how do you know when he bought the house what his intentions are, right? I understand. And it's not your job to follow. But at least know now that he played you for a sucker. He played you for a fool. Crawford. Never believed in Crawford. Now, Laura and Bush must be having a good laugh. Right? They thought we were going to go back to that crappy place. Well, that ranch, there wasn't anything on the ranch. There weren't any animals. There weren't any farming going on. There was nothing on the ranch. One part of it was a ranch. No. When we retire, we can leave that Hollywood set and we go back to where we belong, to a really wealthy neighborhood in Dallas, where we sit our ass down and relax and think, oh, thank God I don't have to pretend anymore. I'm just going to be who I am, a rich white dude from Texas who had all the privileges handed straight to me and pretended I earned it. Well, you should have known, and if you didn't know, now you know.